Hello everyone, it's Timothy Mwale again, and I want to welcome you to this new episode of In Talk with Timothy Mwale. And this episode happens to be a special one indeed, because over the months, when we have conversation with our guests, it has always been virtual, and it has always been awesome indeed. But today is going to be a special one. This is our first physical studio session, and I have my guest here with me, seated with me by my side, and really, indeed, it's a special one. And when we talk about Nollywood, when we talk about creativity, when we talk about talent in Nollywood, beyond acting, I have with me one of the greatest talent in Nollywood. When we mention Nollywood, there is no way we don't mention his name, and it's really a privilege for us and a great opportunity to have him and converse with him on this episode. So please welcome my guest today, Hakeem Effect.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for honoring the invitation. I'm so grateful and so indebted. When I was having the conversation with you this morning, and you told me you're already on your way and you're close, I was like, wow, it's really caught me. Like, you told me you're traveling all the way, like you had to travel all the way for this podcast. I was like, I never have reached that level, and this big star is traveling all the way. It's rare to see someone as big as you do that for some of us that are just coming up, and really this means so much to me. Thank you so much for honoring the invite. This podcast is all about archiving story of great guys, people doing great things out there, and a lot of people have dreams. Nigeria is full of talent, but we get to see only few of them flying, and when we see people flying, I believe personally that there are principles they went through or they passed through. There are some secrets they know, and that's why I go all the way out scouting for people that are already there, that are young and are making it in Nigeria, to come share with us their experiences on how they were able to go through it. So we want to know your story. We want to know how you were able to scale through and get to that peak of your career, and we hope you could help us in a way to also get to the peak of where we are going. So we want to start with your background, sir. How was your background like?
Yeah, thank you. My background is just like the normal average people in Nigeria, because my father happens to be a sales representative in one of the pharmaceutical company, so Sibagegi then, yeah. So he's a sales manager there. So, but growing up, we are living, Nigeria was good then. And I was born in the 70s, in the late 70s, 1978 to be precise, March 5, in the city of Ibadan. So that's where I grew up. So, and everything was rosy until my father was retrenched from his working place. That's 1986-87. So which now bring about the turnaround in our lives, because we were four, like father, mother, and I have 3 siblings, which I am the second child. So growing up was, I think it's rosy. Yeah, everything in Nigeria was good then. So until the second stage of our life, so when we moved down to Abeokuta, which is my hometown, so in 1988. So in Abeokuta, we were going to a private school when we were in Ibadan. So, but when everything turned around, so we have to move in to a building, a house, where my father was building then in Abeokuta. So we've not even really, it's not completed then, but it's like 90% or 95%. So we moved in. So on our school, because my father couldn't shoulder the case anymore, so we have to, we were going to private school, so we have to move to those local primary school. So those ones that they wear khaki, those khaki, yes, so like carton color. Yeah, so that's how we started the rough journey because he couldn't shoulder the case anymore. So it was a deadly, walking through a deadly desert. So there was nothing for us to. He couldn't, put food on the table as usual, the way we were brought up. So what's so lucky for us, my older brother, he won a scholarship because he was so brilliant right from his primary school till his secondary school level. So he won a scholarship. So I was one of the best science students. So we started pushing on until when I finished in 1996 in Egba Comprehensive High School. So
I think that school really released a lot of great people.
So when I finished at Egba Comprehensive High School, my father couldn't even send me to an institution again. Though most of the money he got he started doing a taxi work, like a cab driver in Abeokuta. So which gave an opportunity to my brother to further his education. So when he finished in 1994, so he gained admission into Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. So, but myself, being the second child of the family, I was so tough. So it doesn't even, when you have money, you have the resources, you will be able to tell that, okay, this is where my children, the future. They said a man is the architect of his own future, of his own destiny, which is not like that. I think it's the parent, the father. So if anything you want to become in life, if God gives your parents the money, they'll be able to remote you that, okay, this is how I want to design my children's life. But if the father couldn't shoulder the case anymore, so the destiny has to be in your hand. And for us, and yes, and you can't even focus where your destiny will be going, except if you're matured enough but we were so young. So when my father lost his job, so we didn't even have any direction. So, but my brother escaped through because he was in Polytechnic then. Okay. So yeah, I think we roughened everything for like 5 to 6 years. So before I gained admission, so myself, I didn't even know where I'm going. There was a time one of my ambition was to become a backup singer, Fuji backup singer. Not, yes, because the environment in which I found myself. So that's what, during the time of when Shefu Alao just came in, Ishola Sandoka, Pasuma, Obesere. So I love Fuji music. I used to move into any party. When I hear party around, I just sneak out, just go there to dance. And I love to be a Fuji musician, a backup, not the lead. So, which I've been doing in school then, beating drum with table, backing up for some guys then. But the reason for this is because of the poverty. Yeah. Before, when we were in Ibadan, our focus is that, okay, we want to be like Dele Giwa, a journalist, we want to be like Ganifawa and me. So we want to be like great people. But when everything changed, so when we found ourselves in another situation, so our direction moved to another thing that is, So, and my father couldn't even say, okay, this is what I want you to do. This. He tried his best. But before we go to school in the morning, we have to push. We call my daddy's car Ikokwobe. We don't even want him to know because we have to push that car. If we didn't push the car, if the car didn't start, there's no way we are going to see money to buy food or something, put food on our table. So, and again, I will help my mom to hawk. When we were in Ibadan, she has a food canteen, very big one. But when we were in Abeokuta, she became an alajak by those people selling fruits, also oranges and different kind of fruits. So, and my father had vowed when we were in Ibadan that you will never see a condition that we made him to allow his children to hawk. So then whenever we are in his car, when he's driving us, we see some children hawking. So he'll be saying, so in life, never say never. And at times, I learned a lot of lessons in my upbringing, the ups and the downs. So which means the downs is what puts me where I am now. Because if everything has been smooth the way it was, my father will want me to do what he wanted, not what God wanted me to do. So at times, God will take away those comforts. He doesn't want the parent to lead me to my destination. So he wants me, myself, to struggle so that I can discover myself. But if my parents have been doing all those for me, yeah, you're going to this, you are going to that, I won't be Hakeem Effect. So at times when we are we may be under construction, but we'll be blaming God at God, why this? But we are under construction. So he wants us to go through a path before we can get to. They said there is a proverb which says, before you get to where you are going, you have to pass through where you are not going. That place that you are not going, it's part of the story that you are going to write and you are going to learn about when you get to where you are going. So that means it will make your script and your knowledge to be full. So without passing through those, if you're going to Ibadan, you have to pass through Bega, or Mowe, or Fada, all those Redeem. So all those experiences, they hold up the traffic. What happens in the traffic, everything will be in your story. You can never tell maybe you're going to be a script writer or you're going to be a writer. So all those experiences, you can't just, the experience of the person that, some people will blame themselves that, God, and we have some people that if they want to go to Ibadan or Kaduna, they just go to the airport, they just board, they fly. Within 45 minutes, they get there. But God, why? I didn't have money to, they will just pass through the road. But God wanted them, God didn't give them the resources to travel through plane because God wanted them to learn some things through their journey. But if you fly, you won't see anything than the sky. Just, you get there. So, but the process, before you trek to this place, before the conductor, all those things that happen, the people, the commuters that are inside the bus, what they were discussing, God may want you to learn something from it. So that's, I don't want to deviate from where.
Yeah. So we are moving towards how Hakeem Effect came to be.
Yes. When I was in secondary school, in Egba High School, most of my friends, they used to call me Kimson O'Neil, which I even love most. Like from Hakeem Onilogbo.
Okay.
So they called my nickname was Kimson O'Neil. So I had a lot of it's so touche. Yeah. So it got to a certain stage in our life that I now discovered that my parents didn't like me again. Because an hungry man is an angry man. So I didn't find peace at home again. So I have to run away from home. In the year 1997, I finished in 1996. Okay. I have to run away from Abeokuta because nothing again.
You felt like you wanted to do more?
Yes.
Were you in pursuit of money or passion?
No, what really happened is this. I have potential in me. I know I ought to draw. I know I can draw. So naturally, so I can draw. I have some other things inside me, but I can't. So I now met some friends like in a place in Abeokuta. They came from Lagos, so they now told me that Hakeem, you are dulling yourself with all this talent you have. What talent? It's just drawing. And I write stories. Yeah. I'm a dreamer. When I dream that something is going to happen to someone, if someone is going to die, if I just see it and I tell the person, I saw something is going to happen, and it's going to happen. So that's my talent. I'm a dreamer. I know how to draw. So, and those guys now said, Hakeem, you are just wasting your time in Abeokuta. If you come to Lagos, they now gave me an address. They are in the hospital. They are patients. Yeah. So by the time they discharged them, they gave me an address so that, okay, when you chance, just... So immediately, I have to pick some beds and some iron bed, those spring iron bed. I have to sell them. So it was my sister that caught me while I was trying to, and I begged her that, please, I just want to run away from home. And I said, you want to run away? I said, I want to run away. So I now ran. So immediately I ran. It was August something. So when I got to Ikeja, I've not been to Lagos, but when I got to Ikeja, I saw Baba Fela's coffin being carried around. So they are doing his line estate. So, and I'm still going to Bariga. So when I got to Bariga to meet those guys there, so when I got there, they said, Hakeem, you have arrived. I said, yes. And they promised me that Lagos is flourishing, that this and that, if I get there, I will see work, instead of me sleeping and waking. So when I got there, every night, these guys, they will leave the room. They will go. Early in the morning, they will come back. So, and I've been there, and I told them, sir, the work you promised, you said there is work. And I said, you have to go around. So the matter changed. Mm-hmm. So, and one of those women around, they saw me. They now said, this boy, how are you to these people? I said, I met them in the hospital, this and that. So they now said, these people, they are robbers. They used to rob at night. So that they are bored and this and that. Immediately, when they came back in the morning, I just say, I'm coming. I just want to buy something outside there. I left all my loads and everything. That's how I absconded. And I ran away. So I didn't have any money. I didn't have anything. So one of my friends, I had his contact. So now I have to call him. Oh boy, please let me. And they have a mansion in Festac. So he's a big boy now. So I went there. So their father was late and their mom, I think the mom was late too then. So I now begged him that, please, this is my story. Can I? And the guy wanted to accept me so that I can believe, because we are secondary school mates. So, but one of our friends again, one of our secondary school mates, now called him that this guy that said he was coming from so place, don't take him more. So that's how that one couldn't take me anymore. He has accepted me. So and that one couldn't take me again. So I have to trek back, I went to AIT, I trek. I'm trying to, that's when they first set up AIT. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to meet Kenny Ogungbe and all that. But they advised me then that, this thing you are kind about, this script, let us introduce you to someone. But all their advice wasn't working for me. So when I suffered a lot in the street of Lagos without eating, without anything, I have to run back home to Abeokuta again. So when I go back to Abeokuta, my father has disowned me because I wrote a letter for him that when you knew that you can't take care of us, we are just 4, why did you bring us to this world? So and that thing pained him. So and I say, me that I'm suffering for these people. This. So he now removed my name from his will. So he said, I'm a black sheep. He knew I can't suffer with them. So after that, they begged him, because then my shin has, hunger. So they now beg him. So he now said, I have to go back. I finished in 1996. So I came back in 1998. That 1997 too, but towards the ending, he now said I have to go back to start from SS1 in 1998. So to make my papers, that he's ready now to suffer for me to go and write my exam and send me to school in any way. So and I said, I can't. And I've enjoyed Lagos life, though I was sleeping outside. Mm-hmm. So later, this musician, Sheisho Dimu, that sang Love Me Jeje. So Love Me Jeje came out in 1997. So me and Sheisho Dimu's brother.
You were so conscious about your story,
yes, Sheisho Dimu's brother, the one that sang Love Me Jeje, his father's house and my father's are beside. So, and I happens to be his younger brother's mate in school, 2 of his younger brother. So I now draw. So when the poster came out, Love Me Jeje, I now pick a pen. So that's why they said a man's talent will make the way for you, for him, and it will make him dine among the kings. Even if the king's palace is not his final destination, but it will push him ahead. So later, so I drew Sheyi Shodimu Love Mejeje poster. So their gate man was my friend. So he now took it to Sheyi and Baba Sheyi, his late Alaji Shodimu, that see what my friend drew. And they showed it to Sheyi. He now said, why can't we take this boy to Lagos? Me that I've been looking for a way. You know, I was struggling before, but now my talent is the one that is now directing me. And I say, this guy knows how to draw very well. Let's take him to Lagos, to one of our cousins, to train him how to become a professional. So they came to my father. My father said he doesn't want to have anything to do with me again because I've ran away like a prodigal son before, and I came back. That this second time, he won't. They now ask me, and I say, I want to go back to Lagos. So they packed my load, they gave me a date. So that's how I moved into Lagos in February 1998. So when I got back to Lagos, I was living in a duplex. I was so happy. So I was eating, everything was, but later, they didn't take me to where Sheyi said, and the papa said they should take me to. They took me to one of the family, maybe one of their members of the family's house, that he should take me. So that one was now using me as an house boy. So whenever people come around, they will just say, so person, you have how many maids do you have? I say, I just bring another one now, Hakeem, and I will be hearing. So later my time was wasting. A lot of things happened there. So later I have to move in. They send me packing from the house. So, and I was back to square one. So I was now living in the street, but a guy is in my street. It was the barber. I have to lie to the people in that street that I'm the brother of that person. But when the man was now maltreating me and the wife, so I have to tell them that, I'm not their brother. They said they wanted to help me, and now they are using me as an house boy, this and that. They now say, you should have told us now. So in that same street, the guy now said, instead of me to be roaming about, why can't I be learning barbing from him? So that's how I started learning barbing. He's a friend. But you now tell me, I go and fetch water, I go and do this. I started, and people, the friend to that man that was maltreating me, they will now be sending me to go and buy crate of. I started as an errand boy in that same street, that people used to respect me, that, these people are living in duplex. So I started by selling things for people. So one day, the man now, so at times, so the barber now asked me that, Hakeem, where are you sleeping? I said, don't worry, I have a place I'm sleeping. So immediately they closed the shop. I will come back to that shop. I will sleep under the counter outside the shop. So for months. So after sleeping there, I will jump the fence to that mansion to take my bath there. I will jump out. And some people now call me that, if these people, they've sent you away, you now be jumping into their fence. So I now told them that, okay, I'll be sleeping under. So that's how I started sleeping under the bridge. So one day I was forced that, okay, where is the safest place? I started sleeping in the mosque. So which means I will be part of those people doing the prayer. So by the time they're about to close for the prayer, I'll be doing as if I'm still praying. So that's where I will sleep till daybreak. So one day I was sleeping there. So that's when an armed robber, they came to that place. They started shooting. That's how they caught me. So by the time they caught me, they said, who are you? You are part of the robber. I said, I'm not. So I now showed them where I was sent away. And the people in that area, they now showed me that, okay, this is where he came from. He's not an armed robber. They sent him out of the house. That's how they leave me. So later I said, what will I do? So I now called one of my friends. So now said I should come to his place. He's an hotel manager. So when I got to the hotel place, all this journey, it's a learning process. Mm-hmm. I learned barbing. So when I now got to the hotel, is a cousin to me. So when I got the hotel, so we have like 16 or 20 prostitutes there. So they now called me. They've been giving me food, giving me everything. Hospitality is there. We have a lot of people that was deported from abroad, that they were there, that they were living under the prostitutes, yeah. Maybe they've been dating the prostitute before. Okay. So later they got stuck. So maybe they used charm on them. So they started living with the prostitute. So whenever it's 8 o'clock at night, when the prostitute are going to resume duty, they will stroll away. So they are not the husband, so that they won't see the dirtiness, the hard jobs. So when it's like 12 or 1, they will come back. And those prostitutes are buying, or Okada are buying things for them. So one day I've been eating, they've been giving me free food. They now called me that you have to be sleeping with some of the ashewo as their husband, so that you will be given chance to stay here. And I said, I can't do it. I can't. And I said, you can't do it. So you can't sleep in like this hotel again. So they sent me out of the hotel. I started sleeping outside. If rain falls, it'll be falling on me. So I didn't have that. My cousin couldn't give me food again. So the only opportunity that I see that I can use to eat is to help the area boys. They say, Hakeem, go and buy smoke from that place. You have to smoke it. The fire shouldn't stop till you get to this place. So before I can see any money in a day, I have to smoke for them. I take money, I buy smoke, I will smoke it from. So give them, they give me change. So that's what I've been doing for them. So later I now say, what kind of life is this? So with the money, I go to the people that are selling beans. So the reason why I'm saying this, it's the journey that led to what Hakeem Effect. Yeah. So by the time I got to the beans seller, so the money I earn from the smoking is not enough. So they sell, that's when they sell bread. Let's say they have bread 20 naira. So they will now cut it into 4. So like, okay, maybe 5 for 20, abi 1 naira or something, so that I will take one part of the bread. I buy beans, put water in it. So, but immediately they move back. I will steal one big bread. Hot bread, I will press it together. I will just hide it. I'll just be eating. That's what I've been doing every day. So one day, and the people around that place, they've been calling me that, this guy, you have ambition, you have future. Why are you sleeping in the hotel? Why are you smoking for them? I say, I don't have any means to eat. They say, you can learn. This is your drawing. Everybody knew me about the drawing. You can learn something. I said, I don't know where to learn. So immediately, I went to the place where I used to steal bread. So immediately I pressed I was about to press the bed, and the one little baby, like 6 months or thereabout, was placed on the floor. Maybe one of the workers asked the child. So as I took the bread like this, I want to press it, and my eyes, I got eye contact with the baby. And that spirit, because there is a spirit that used to speak with me. I told you I'm a dreamer. Yes. So the spirit said, if you steal this thing once, the way the baby see you, the baby will start stealing, and nobody will cure the thing that is, the spirit of theft, that nobody will heal it from the child. And I couldn't press the bread. I was shaking. I just dropped it. I was crying. The one I bought, I couldn't eat it. The beans, I couldn't eat it. And I moved. People started saying, why are you crying? Why are you crying? They didn't know that I've robbed them for months. That day. And now, I started crying. So someone now said, what's up? I said, I want to learn work. So that's when they now introduced me to Ogogo Taiwo Azan. So when I got to him in Odunfa, so he too said I have to go and learn work before he can take me as an apprentice. Because then I wish to be an actor. So they said I should go and learn work. I said, this man is we just see him on the TV as a good man. Just telling me to go and learn work. So I moved back. So until one day when the hotel people now said I should pack my things if I can't fuck. Somebody gave me a turkey. One of the guys there. I was eating the rice and turkey. And one ashewo just slapped the spoon onto my face. And the pepper entered my face. He said, you can't fuck ashawo, but you feel shop ashawo food by the belly. So that's the day I vowed that I would go and learn work. So I moved from there. I trekked to Ikeja from Agege. So when I got to Ikeja, I met Mr. Remy Adesada. I told him, I know how to draw, but I just find a means of eating. He said, okay, how many months do you want to learn this artwork. I said, I want to leg for like 2-3 months. He said, okay. So he didn't know me. He said, where are you living? I said, I'm living with prostitutes. I didn't have anybody here. He said, okay. As if he was expecting me. I don't know what he has seen. So we are like 20 or thereabout there. So I came in. So I started learning. The first month, second month, third month, I see that I didn't know anything. So we are the first set of people that does billboards. You know, they use digital now.
Yeah.
But then we use hand to draw it. So, and Lagbaja Omubaba Mukomuko happens to be like my boss friend. So he used to give us job. Yeah. So we used to work in motherland, draw something there. But what I'm not telling you, the process of my life, whereby I've been a bricklayer during my turbulence time, I've been a carpenter, I've been a painter, I've been a tailor, I've done odd jobs. So all those odd jobs are the process which God is taking me to, because He knows that I'm going to become Hakeem Effect. So all those jobs that I've done, everything is in me. So by the time I got to that place, I started, learning a lot of things. And if you are working with Lagbaja is a perfectionist. He's a master perfectionist. When you draw something, or a carpenter made a stage for him, if it bent from far, you just tell you, this thing is bent, you remove everything. So you don't have any option than to be the best. So because when he comes back, you wouldn't want him to say, all the work you've done, you have to remove it. So if you draw something and the head bend or something like this, he will tell you this thing, the scale is not right. So our guy will now warn us that, hey, it's Lagbaja job, you have to be perfect. So anything I want. So the perfection aspect of me, it's because I go through that process. God wanted us to meet Lagbaja through my boss. And my boss was the one training me. So if I didn't meet my boss, I wouldn't meet Lagbaja. I won't know what God wanted me to learn from motherland and Lagbaja. So perfectionist. So you have to be perfect in anything you are doing. So after that, I started working. After my graduation, one of my uncle, he's a professor. He now came to me. He now said, Hakeem, all the people in the family, they are going to our institution. You are here learning work. Is this the future? Can you become something with this? That thing touched me. Can you become? And it is not something that I will hold to my heart that this uncle, I will surprise you. God sent him to me that don't think this is your final stage. He used that thing to spark my head that we have professors, we have people in abroad in our family. Is this painting, drawing you want to stick to? And you say, this is your future? Is it what you want to use in taking care of your family? I was shocked. It reminded me of my father that as this and that, see how everything turned out to be. Because he's not a degree holder, he's just a stances or something. So all those things shook me that, God, is this what I bargained for in my life? So after the training, and God now brought LASA. After my graduation, I didn't work a lot. So I met, the LASA people, Lagos State government then, maybe during, I don't know, maybe Fashola or Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they have to put an eradication to some illegal signage in the street of Lagos. So that's how they eradicate those. If you can't pay for the signage, you can't erect a signboard. So that's the turnaround. And there's no work I didn't have any certificate. So that's when I started thinking, what can I do? So let me go back to drama. So that's when I saw audition, Muyiwa Demola and Oriofe Williams. So Oriofe Williams was the first person I worked with as an actor, as a makeup artist. But the place where the grace, which is the place we are going now, that our Hakeem Effect came about, this is it now. So when there is an eradication in putting illegal signage in the street of Lagos, there's nothing for artists again. So everything. So the little money I had, I have to put it on traveling. So when we travel, we were duped. We came back. There was nothing. I've given out all my belongings to my friends in the streets. So there's nothing again. When I came back, I went to their room. They have my TV, my bed. I can't take it again. And I didn't have house. So I have to go and knock one Paco in that same street that I've lived for 7 years in Akonwojo, Showball Street. So I have to knock Paco kiosk, which I'm living with my 4 siblings and other family member there. I lived there for 3 years inside that Paco. So it was in that Paco that I didn't have anything again. I've lost all my customers. I've lost everything. So that's where I was. I just had the dream. I was going with my siblings in that dream. And the one man with a white robe now called me. Hey, come, can you follow me? And I said, I don't know you. He said, if you can follow. I said, I'm going with my people. He said, they are not your people. If you can follow me, I will announce you to the world. I said, announce me to the world. He said, come. I parted ways with my family. So I was moving with him. He now put his hand on my shoulder. So as he put his hand on my shoulder, I was trying to look up. He said I should promise him that if I follow him. He said, what talent do I have? I said, I know how to draw. He said, you have more than drawing capacity. I said, I wanted to look at him. He was as tall as heaven with a white robe. He said, follow me, promise me. I started crying. That give me that gift. So my siblings now woke me up. They found me, I was crying. They say, what happened? I said, I saw a white man. They say, oh, and we are Muslim. We used to go to mosque very well. So the next day, I rushed down to the Conquerors Assembly. There was a church. I've been working for them. I gave my life to Christ. So the pastor prayed for me. Ever since then, the man will come at night, come to teach me how to cut hand, cut legs. I don't know what it was. So until I joined the choir and all other thing, and I wasn't given chance very well in the choir to perform very well. So there's a guy, he's a comedian now, MC Reason. So we met in the church and some other people. And MC Reason now said, why can't we do something which is apart from a church administration, like forming a group outside church, a group. So that's when we now come, we call ourselves We That Has Talent. We now say, okay, we call the name of the group 4GO. So the name of the group is For God Only. So our first ministration, our first rehearsal is in the beer parlor. So we didn't have it. They didn't give us chance in the church. So after the rehearsal, we now say, okay, you as an artist, can you do something like Effect? I don't know what Effect was. So they gave other person, you will be the drama choir, you'll be the one writing song, you'll be the one writing drama, you'll be in charge of costume. So by the time I got back home, so when to my kiosk, so I started looking for, okay, what will I use? They say I will do end of the year party or Effect that they will cut some people's hand. And I said, one man used to teach me how to cut hand. I don't know. So by the time we got to rehearsal the following week, then I said, okay, people started bringing their assignment. Okay, I've done this is the song, this is the drama, this is the rehearsal, this is the clothes. So by the time I got there, they said, what, Baba, what are you going to use in doing those? I said, I can't tell them that I used to dream it. They would be laughing at me. I said, and they started suggesting. I said, I know how to do blood. I can use paint and kerosene to do blood, but I don't know how to do swollen eye or what are you? That's okay, Baba. Why can't you use mud? They started suggesting. Somebody said, why can't you use eba? Somebody said, why can't you use amala? And a boy was running, like a 5 or 6 years old boy, just run into our midst because he's in the church. We are doing the rehearsal. And the mother of the boy is a sweeper in the church. We are preparing for Sunday service. And the boy just ran inside. The boy just said, why can't you use so thing? And those guys spanked the boy. That's something that is disturbing our brain. And you just jump into our midst. Immediately they beat the boy. And the sound came to me again that, well, that's what you will be using to start what I've been teaching you. And I will cause commotion now so that you will know that I've arrived. Immediately, the mother of that boy just ran. You beat my son. Because of what? They started fighting. I just run away from that place. Run to my booker. Buy those things. That's how Effect. The first Effect. I just say, my God. That's how. So by the time we do the administration at 31st night, see altar call. They've never seen people that doesn't have hand again, blind eyes and all that. So that's how people are saying, hey. So, and I went to a location. After I've been to audition, they see the picture that I've done. They say, hey, this, who are you? Who is your boss? I don't have any boss. I don't have anybody. So, the place where Hakeem Effect now emanated from, I was in one location. That's my beginning. So, and Murphy Afolabi, one of the actors, a producer actor. So, we now have like 2 Hakeems or 3 Hakeems on the set. So, then whenever they call me that, oh, what's your name? Effect guy, what's your name? I said, I can't say Kimson O'Neill because they'll be laughing at me. Like, what's wrong with this thing? I said, my name is Hakeem. So, whenever Murphy needed one Hakeem, you now say, Hakeem! Like 3 Hakeems will rush to the set. And I said, no. If I want to call you, I would say, Hakeem Ifeti. If I want to call you, I'll say, Hakeem. If I want to call you, I'll say, Hakeem Driver. So whenever so they now need me on set, they now say, Hakeem Effect. Some people now say, Hakeem Effect. Because the way he pronounces something is like Oshun person, that Hakeem Effect. So people will now say, Hakeem Effect. Hakeem Effect. So any production that they now call me, then what's your name? And I say, Hakeem Effect. That's how the signature Hakeem Effect. And that's how God has been helping me till I arrive here.
Wow. Please permit me to do this. You literally went through a lot. Yeah. I know a lot of people have not even gone to half of this and they're already giving up. And this is actually even a motivation for me that, wow, it can really be done. Earlier I said you're a special one, and I think really, I heard part of your story before now, but I heard more of it now, and I can really confirm that you are a special one. Let's just move into a list of the works you have done so far. What we say is the biggest work you have done so far? Me, I have one on my head. I'm saying it's the biggest, but let me give it to you first. What will you say is the biggest job you've done so far? Yeah,
I've been thinking I had biggest job, but I now realize that there can never be a better yesterday. So today will always be better than yesterday. So I just finished a job with Femi Adebayo, Salami. Femi Adebayo Salami is the biggest job I've ever done in my life. I'm saying it authoritatively, emphatically.
I was going to mention that Jagun as the biggest job.
Yeah, Anikulapo was the biggest before, but now Jagun.
Okay, it's a movie coming.
It's coming. Okay. This Easter. It's coming this Easter. It's coming quick. Next year, April.
Wow. So I want to talk about talent. One of the things talent have issue with is management. Okay. While you were coming up, since you actually said you didn't learn from someone that was able to teach you the craft. Yeah. So how did you go about monetizing it? How were you able to suggest? How were you able to say your price boldly that no, this is what I want to collect, and how were you able to build the confidence about monetizing and putting
so
price
that's a
work?
good question. You know, when I got into the industry, they didn't give me chance like that. So when I was in Yoruba genre of Nollywood, they'll be asking me, who is your boss? Who is your boss? Because I didn't have a boss, I didn't have a background. The pay, even if I have, so it will, but the pay wasn't okay. So when I got to the English or Asaba, Enugu genre of Nollywood, they will be telling me, you are not from this place and you're dominating this place. A lot of problem. I couldn't, but the Igbo, Asaba people, Enugu people, they pay me more than the Yoruba people. But if you want to learn discipline, you see it in Yoruba. The discipline that is helping me today, it's in Yoruba, but the pay wasn't there. So, back to your question, it's got a time when I think the pay wasn't coming. So I have to introduce training people. Okay. So I started training people little by little. So, I train them free of charge. And some, when I see that, this thing, I have to commercialize it, I started taking petty money just to survive because I was married and there was nothing. So it was those people that I trained I just see that first year, second year, people are not calling me again to eat. Is problem. And all my apprentices, they absconded. There's nothing. I was left because they knew what I know. I've trained them everything. So this is what now led to my wife, Eki. So my wife now called me that now that you've trained them and everyone, they've known everything you knew. So the people are not giving you a job again. So what will you do? And I say, I'm done. And I say, we have to re-strategize. Let's do what you've not taught them. Which means, I don't know where you go and find that money. Okay, which means I don't know where you go and find that money. You have to go and work outside because they are not giving me job in the industry again. Work outside. We now use the money to order for foreign products, which we have not been using before. We are using local things, and my name, Hakeem Effect, no money, but Hakeem Effect has skyrocketed. So now, she now said, we have to go and buy those foreign products, and we now be practicing. She now said, you are in level 0 now. I said, upon all my name, we fought. I was angry that, how will I be in level 0? Now I said, I will now be grading you. That's how you see her. I started.
So she was your manager.
Yes, I started using her, transforming her. All my apprentices, they left me. They don't even pick my calls again.
Wow.
So we started doing prosthetics, changing our face, change out to Buhari, change out to this, change out to that. And people started calling me back. Hakeem. She now said, Hakeem, now, this is your time. They've left you. They've left us hunger for like 3 years. Now, because we are not using our local things again, we are using foreign. So they too, you have to pay. If they pay, you remove the money of your material. Is it the money of food you will be waiting for? So God used everything that happens to you to teach you lesson. In order to, if they didn't do that to me, if they didn't sideline me, if they didn't boycott me, I wouldn't have a kind of vibe that would tell me, let's be buying foreign product. We are too stagnant on this local level. So later, after that, I now mention price. This is what I wanted to take. Some people say they are not there. They will go. They now come back. They pay. I now write an article. It's a speech. I created it on my own that there must be an activation of spiritual insanity in your creativity for you to become a celebrity. There must be an activation, like a recharge card. You must activate the spiritual insanity. I have insanity. I have madness, creative madness in me. But there must be an activation. If you don't activate it, okay, we are the same thing. But you have to, I have something inside me that is greater than what I've taught them. So I have to activate. That's why I say there must be an activation of spiritual insanity, crazy things. There must be an activation of spiritual insanity in your creativity for you to become a celebrity. So Rome wasn't built in a day. And talking of, so when they left me with nothing, I started thinking of that my brother. I said, is it what you want to live for? Is this, you didn't have a degree? So later I now realized that God, I'm under construction. When I was going through all those backlashes, and those words my uncle were telling me, it's God is using it to prepare me to give me an awakeness of mind that, okay, you have to be awake. You don't have to be slumbering on one part. So that's when I now realized that looking at the pedigree, looking at the, I decided to be educated, but I decided not to have a degree, because most of, looking at the pedigree of those most successful entertainers in the world, they have those that doesn't have degree. If you are looking at their pedigree, so their lineage, those most brilliant and popular and fantastic entertainers, that those doesn't have a degree. It is their talent. So the talent works more better than having a degree. Degree is just a title. But if you are talent and you're educated, with your degree. Education doesn't have anything to do with talent, but education doesn't have anything to do with the certification. It's about, mixing up with people, with elites, to know the right, the wrong. So until my wife now told me that now you don't have to be on this local level. You don't have to go to school to learn. You have the talent. Just have to work, better on yourself so that you can be the great man you wanted to be. And that's what has been working for me, and the prize is working for me as well.
Wow. So your story is such an very amazing one. But before we go, just a final note. I want you to give us, probably in a minute, just a minute, a roundup in, let's say, all of your story in principles, what you have learned here. If you are going to bring it down to principles, you will gift people to obey. What will those principles be?
The first one is persistence breaks down resistance.
Mm-hmm.
So anything you're doing in life, just have a plan B and be persistent about what you're doing. So because from my experience, if I didn't have a plan B, so I wouldn't be where I am today. So I've taught all my apprentices and all other people my plan A. So, but the other one, which I rediscover, if I didn't have someone, a partner, and you can't move in life without having a partner. You can't succeed in life. If you say you are a one-man mopo, you can't succeed in life. You must have someone. The person may be behind the camera that people doesn't see, but you must have someone that will tell you this is right. That person you'll be fighting, you'll be fighting. You have a lot of disagreements, but you must have someone. A tree cannot make a forest. So Hakeem Effect, everybody's seen Hakeem Effect. There's some background thing working for me. Not you're just seeing Hakeem Effect as a representative. So anything you're doing, be persistent about because it breaks down resistance. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Wow, this is indeed a special episode, and I know a lot of people that will listen to this. This will really transform them. I don't know what you are going through, but you have seen someone that went through a lot, came from a lot, and has become something everyone is willing to associate with. So I hope this blesses you, and you don't just listen to it, but also share with others to get their life transformed. Thank you so much for staying tuned to this point. I appreciate you. Thank you.